What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, I am back, people. Man, you guys already know OG doesn't talk about it, he bees about it. You know, like I've told you in the past, and I'm going to tell you today, you need a plan when you go to that gym. Because if you go in there not knowing what to do, you're going to get discouraged, people. I'm telling you now, you're going to feel intimidated by the people that are already doing their program. And tell you right now, most of them cats in there really don't know much of what they're doing either, because I've seen individuals that's been going for a couple years and they have no results, and the reason is because they're lacking. They're lacking in a certain part of their health, their fitness journey, and I would say 90% of the people, the knowledge that they lack is the nutrition. Because eventually you could build yourself a workout routine that's going to work for you. You know what I mean? You'll get some basic results. But to do it correctly, you need to hire a coach, man. Somebody that could give you a layout of what you need to do. And when I refer to a layout is, building your workouts, how many repetitions, how many sets you're supposed to be doing for every workout, how much rest you're supposed to have in between sets. All that stuff plays an important factor, people. I'm telling you now, that's the best way to get results. I had an individual comment on my page saying about, because I'm only doing 3 plates. Well, my boy, I hate to bust your bubble. It's not how much you lift, it's how you lift it. When you lift correctly, it doesn't take much to get results. More than likely, you're into powerlifting. I've been there, done that, man. I was 19 years old in the state penitentiary, hitting 8 quarters. That's 400 pounds plus, pig iron. For those of you that know what I'm talking about. Maybe one day I will put a picture up here and show you what I was like in the joint. Or you could go through my profile and see them. I'm sure they're there. But anyways, people, you really have to have something put together for you, because when you try to tackle this fitness journey on your own, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just a little harder, especially if you don't have the knowledge and you don't retain knowledge throughout the years of making attempts to doing it. It could get very uncomfortable. And to make a drastic change in your nutrition, it sometimes is a setup for failure. Yeah, you'll lose some weight at the beginning, but it's not sustainable, because you're making a total change in your lifestyle, and with that comes discomfort. So if you're not disciplined the way like I am, and there's others out there that are disciplined, you're gonna fall off. You have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that takes a lot of time and practice. It's not something that just happens overnight. A lot of my discipline came from behind them walls, and the reason is because behind them walls, when the laws were laid, they were to be followed, and if they were broken, there was consequences. So it's up to you how you wanted to gamble with your life. You know what I'm saying? I've shared about an individual in the past too. He was gambling with his life. He got lucky and got away. But anyways, you know what? If you guys are still struggling and not knowing where to get started, man, shoot me a DM saying that you want to get fit, and I'll accept your message, and we could chop it up. I'll get you going free of charge. You know what I mean? I'm not going to charge you. Get you to lose a few pounds. That way you can see that it's possible. You know what I mean? Because I got guys on my team, man, that they never believed that they could break that 200-pound mark, And they went from, down to 280. I got a certain individual that's lost a lot of weight, and he's looking good, man. He's acquiring that body that he's been chasing after. I got another individual that's down to 198. He finally broke that limited belief, because he never thought it was possible. And now he's just beast mode, you know what I mean? I'm proud of my team members, man. They're putting in the work. They don't talk about it, they be about it. But yeah, so if you're still struggling, shoot me that DM or shoot me an email at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I will get you going to becoming that best version of yourself. Stop spinning your wheels, people. It's there for everybody. All you need is that blueprint. And I have a blueprint, a solid blueprint, a bulletproof blueprint to success. I'm a living example that it works, man. I'm, just about going to be 54 years old and I'm in the best shape of my life. Well, anyways, people, I wanted to touch on a quick little story right here about a bulldog. This happened down south, man. And the only reason why I'm touching on this topic right here is because there was an individual that was commenting in my comments, and they were trying to guess the disruptive group that I was talking about. The disruptive group that came out from up north. No, it's not the Bulldogs. It wasn't the Bulldogs. It's a disruptive group that I won't touch on any longer. And like, if you paid attention to my past videos, this is just what I've heard. I don't have proof on this. This is just what was put in my ear. In order to be part of this disruptive group, you had to have booked somebody like me. That's how you earned your stripes and earned your position as being part of that faction. Okay? If you really want to know, ask one of your homies, if you got homies that are around my age, and I'm more than sure that if they've done time up north, that they will let you know exactly what this group is called. I'm not going to mention them. I'm not going to put them out here. I don't even know if they exist anymore. You know what I mean? I actually, I'm not even going to get into that. Later on, I'll touch on that subject because it's a line of communication that I have with a certain individual that is very well informed of everything and anything with those factions that went on up there. But later on in time, we'll touch on that. And with that individual's permission, I'll put them up on my YouTube channel. I don't disrespect anybody. I don't care where you're from, what color you are. I will give you the utmost respect, and I expect it in return. You know what I mean? As a righteous person, a real one. That's the way a real one does conduct himself professionally. I ain't got time to play these little kid games. It's just not me. But anyways, people, back to the Bulldog. Okay. I was down south doing time, and I already settled in, and we were in a location where I should say it wasn't loose, but it was very comfortable. And the reason is because there was really no other factions there. Well, there was no factions from up north, I should say. But this one particular day, there's a whisper put in the air, going through everybody's ears, that a bulldog is pulled up. I'm familiar who the Bulldogs were and who they are, because going through reception up north, through Wasco, they was deep. Was I involved in any melees with them? No, not at all. During that time, when they when they were going through the system, well, they're still in the system, but they were somewhat attached to the northern faction, but they didn't really they didn't pose a threat. So I was familiar with them, but I don't know their stilo. I don't know their get down. I know they look just like us, you know what I mean? They're the same color as us, people, you know what I mean? People get on here and they're like, oh, he's a Norteño. What's a Norteño? What the fuck, man? Look yourself in the mirror. It's just another homie, you know what I mean? They have different ways of doing things. That's it, you know what I mean? They have a different vernacular, and you know it's because they're a product of their environment. Not every one of them carry that vernacular, but you guys know what I'm talking about, and I won't touch on that. And the reason is, you know, a lot of people want to shame the homies. Why would you do that? We got homies from down south. I mean, straight from down south that speak in a certain manner. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, when you reach to certain levels in the penitentiary, it's frowned upon. Certain words, they're not part of our vocabulary. You will get dealt with. But anyways, so I'm down south doing time in this joint. Never in my life would I've ever thought someone was going to land from up north over there. Well, busload came in, and the whisper was, there's a bulldog pulling up, and this man is not to be touched. There's a red light. For those of you that are familiar with what the red light is, you know what it is. It holds up any type of movement on anything. Okay, and that's something that you do not want to go against, because the person that gives that order is a person in leadership that is very well respected, and what he says goes. Okay, I won't get into detail about that either, because I am not comfortable touching on topics, and I won't touch on certain topics. So anyways, time goes by. The individual lands in the setup where I was at. I was in a 270, wasn't a 180. It was a 270, and it was like I said, it wasn't loose because of the prison that it was at. You know what I mean? It was but it wasn't let's put it this way, because of the location we were at, the homies weren't on swivel as they would be doing time somewhere up north during that time, you know, when the Bulldogs and the Norteños and that certain faction were around. Okay, so anyways, this individual lands where I'm at, goes through classification, comes out to yard. We already know who he is. We approach him. We give him the rundown. We let him know he's cool. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about nothing. We understand why the system, the institution is sending these individuals down, because we've already done cut wind. And it's also to test the waters, to see how they're gonna be able to move, you know, because the Bulldogs had made a move to release themselves from falling underneath the northern cause, I should say. Okay, I won't get into detail about that either. You know, it's none of my business. It's just what I was informed of. Everything that I go by is just what was put in my ear. Do I have any proof of why things were moved on? No, because why I didn't bother looking into it. You know what I mean? I went with the program. I did what it was expected of me, and I didn't do any extra, and so be it. Anybody from down south, when you're doing time, you're gonna participate. There's no dead weight. So anyways, back to this individual. He lands there. We give him the rundown. Boom. He puts himself in. Obviously, yeah, he's gonna feel a little uneasy there, because he doesn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Because no matter where you're at, coming from a certain faction, and you've had a lot of bloodshed behind that, you're gonna hold animosity towards an individual, no matter what word is given down from the people in leadership. There's sneaky ways of trying to get over on the rules that's been laid, and that we're supposed to follow. I'm gonna give you an example. This individual, this bulldog right here, man, this fool could shoot some pinochle, man. And when we would shoot pinochle, certain individuals would make some foul comments, you know what I mean, trying to push those buttons. But obviously the bulldog isn't gonna react to it. Come on, man, that would be a death wish for him. Anybody with common sense would know that. Yeah, I'm sure he put it underneath his belt and put it on reserve just in case if he had to do anything. He would know exactly who he would probably want to do his move on. Of course, certain individuals, they kept on pushing and kept on pushing the buttons. So these individuals, man, to make a long story short, they had to get pulled to the side and let them know, check this out, man, you guys gotta quit that shit, because if anything happens right here and it interrupts what needs to be done around here, you're gonna be dealt with. I'm just gonna keep it as simple as that. But anyways, so yeah, these individuals, they got called off, this and that. They stopped fucking with them, stopped, acknowledging them because they were warned already. I ended up, because I love playing pinochle too. This individual, you know what I mean? I ended up, he ended up being my pinochle partner. Good, man, this dude's, he could shoot pinochle for days, man. But anyways, I'm gonna fast forward on this. Another busload comes in now. Now you have an individual that's coming from San Fran. This particular individual, youngster, turns out he's a resident. He's got family from Los, but he's been rooted out there in San Fran. So he's got a heavy stilo. His stilo ways were from up north. If I didn't know any better, I would have taken him as a Norteño, but he was just he was a baller from up north, well taken care of. You know what I mean? So anyways, long story short, because I don't want to be fucking rambling on about this shit, I just wanted to touch on about that individual, the bulldog that landed there, and how he made it through. But well, anyways, this individual, once he goes through his classification and all that, you got to keep in mind there's animosity between the Northerners and the Bulldogs now, because they parted ways. So with this is something that's really out of our control. You know what I mean? We could let the person know, but at the end of the day, that person's going to decide on what he's going to do. Now keep in mind, this dude's just a resident. I'm not saying residents ain't turned up, because like I said in the past, man, there's some residents that are really turned up, man, and they're with the business more than some individuals, you know what I mean? Certain homies that you think are homies. But yeah, so we get to shooting pinochle. This little youngster's a pinochle shooter too, but man, this little pinochle dude, man, he could shoot it, but he was very loose at his mouth, and he would come at the bulldog very foul. So we came to a situation where this step couldn't go on, and it was obviously we weren't going to let this stuff erupt during our day room, during our program. So this is something that had to be set up, man. And this little individual, this resident, he was with the business, you know what I mean? He pushed his thing, you know what I mean? He had animosity towards that bulldog. This bulldog though, man, I'm telling you right now, this bulldog, long story short, we set it up, man, and they were able to do their thing, and this bulldog had hands on him, man. He had major hands. They went into a blind spot to do their thing, and the little resident, he came out with a piece of candy. Poked him a few times, you know what I mean? Got away with it. As far as the piece, the candy, he didn't really get away with it, because at the end of the day, they were leaking and no weapon was found and shit. But they were moved from the yard. What happened to them after that, I don't know, you know. But I just wanted to bring to the table that there was a time when a couple of Norteños slipped through. But I'm not going to label the Bulldog as a Norteño, but Norteños that were residents. You know, they didn't pose a threat to us. But as far as the little resident from up north in the Bulldog, they posed a threat to one another because that little Norteño that was rooted, he had deep roots down in San Fran. He was with the business. He wasn't about to let it ride. But as far as like with us, he didn't pose a threat to us. So that was the only reason why he was able to walk through, especially that being where I was at. Well, anyways, people, bring the story to an end. With that being said, make sure you get up and get yours. Don't talk about it. Be about it. If you're still struggling and not knowing where to get started, shoot me that DM. If you don't want to shoot a DM, go to highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I will get you going on becoming that best version of yourself. I'll get you going with the basic results free of charge, people. You know what I mean? And if you want to take it to the next level, that's when you sign aboard and you get committed. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Let's do this.